Thank you to Arden Wolfsky for your generous support on Patreon.
Alright, and here's a big difference. Shoichi! Shit! That's right, Shoichi asked me to go out with him today. I was sitting on the rooftop like I do sometimes. Cloud gazing helps me keep my stress at an acceptable level. I knew you'd be here. Shoichi showed up, looking down at me with a mix of annoyance and amusement. Yeah, I get the feeling that we've done this a lot over the years. What was it this time? Too much homework, incoming tests are leaving you stressed? Not sure. It wasn't uncommon for me to feel on edge from time to time. Be it home life, schoolwork, or everything that was going on with my tennis career. There was always something to tick me off and make me feel stressed. Being lazy was my major outlet. Shoichi sits down on the ground next to me, and I can see him staring at my face in curiosity for a few seconds. Then he turns his eyes towards the sky, watching the clouds. He curves his body forward, hugging his knees as he looked up. We sit in silence for a few minutes, merely watching the clouds as they fly by. It might be silly, but it really does help me to relax. You know, Shoichi starts to talk. Spare me the lecture. Before he even has time to finish his sentence, I already cut him off. Rude, you don't even know what I was going to say. It's you. Of course you were going to give me a lecture about missing class and how that will reflect poorly on my college admittance exams. Then I'd have to remind you that I don't even plan on taking those, yada yada yada. It's the same argument we have every time. Pick a new topic already. I give a fleeting glance in his direction. Seeing that look of annoyance on his face really feels refreshing somehow. I guess you really do know me well. It's been over 10 years. It's expected that I would by this point. I guess that's true. Shoichi starts rocking his body sideways as he hums a familiar melody. For some reason, I can't seem to recall where I've heard this before. Still, it's a very pleasant tune. Shoichi continues humming happily, not realizing I've begun to watch him. Seeing him look so happy also does wonders for my mood. More so than any clouds in the sky could. Shoichi finally seems to notice that my attention has turned to him. What is it? My heart seems to skip a beat for a second there. I have to look away to hide the fact that I'm suddenly blushing. Why am I blushing? Oh, it's nothing. I hear Shoichi chuckling, but I still don't turn to look at him. Is that so, huh? Shoichi starts humming again. Hey, Cleveland? He starts humming very quickly, suddenly calling out to me. Reflexively, I turn to look at him. What is it? Shoichi leans forward against his knees, resting his chin on them as his eyes start looking sideways at me. Do you remember this song? Huh? What kind of question is this? You mean the one you're humming? Yeah. Shoichi nods. Where was it I heard that song before? It sounds really familiar. I remember it, if you have a choice. Really? It's the one that was playing at the Moon Festival we went to as kids. When was that again? 6 years ago? Huh? Shoichi stares at me in complete bewilderment for a few seconds. Doubt starts creeping in. Could that be that I was wrong? And he suddenly nods energetically, looking incredibly pleased with himself. You do remember. I'm glad. Shoichi starts laughing. He seems so innocent and unguarded. I can't help but start laughing myself. I remember. We start laughing like two idiots for a few seconds, just enjoying the moment. That's right. The song suddenly popped back up in my mind this morning. I don't know why. It just reminded me of how long it's been since we last went to the festival. Well, we always seem very busy around that time at the festival, so it's no surprise. Shoichi nods. That's also true. That's kind of sad when I think about it. It doesn't help that the festival only happens during one of the busiest seasons of the year. Our city's Moon Festival happens mid-June, just when one of the major tennis tournaments is going on. It's also right in the middle of the inter-high qualifiers, so Shoichi has always been very busy with his team in later years. In the end, we haven't managed to attend together once in the last 6 years. Feels a bit sad when you think about it. Damn it, now that you mention it, I really want to try going to a festival again. It's really been a while. The fuck? Oh. Last time I attended was our first year. But you weren't doing too hot back then and didn't want to go with me. Don't remind me. It was back during the peak of my slump. I was sitting around and feeling pity for myself most of the time. It's embarrassing to even think about it. Hey, how about we go together this year? You forgot the part where we're both probably going to be super busy by then? Well, do you know for a fact that you won't have at least one free day during the festival? Well, the city's festival starts on Friday, going all the way to Sunday. So it might be possible for us to meet up then, but I might have the time. But we don't know if you will. We can't make arrangements like this without knowing. That's true. But I want to go to the festival. Shoichi starts throwing a temper tantrum. As comical as the image of an 18-year-old that's almost 2 meters tall flailing around in a tantrum is, it's also a little bit weird. What are you, a kid? That's cruel. His switch suddenly goes off. Jeez, when we're both alone together, he seems so easygoing, and then it's like hanging out with a completely different person. Just accept reality already. The chances of us two going out to the festival together are stupidly small this year. Well, what is it? Just spit it out already. Now that I think about it, that's not entirely true. We could go to a festival if we wanted to. Well, I don't know of any festivals in town, save for the Moon Festival. Then you're in for a treat. Will you be free on Saturday? I should be. Why? Oh, no reason in particular. Except that you'll be going out with me, of course. There's one festival going on in town this Saturday, and I'm absolutely going to take you there. Which festival is this? That, my friend, will be a surprise. I groan, already anticipating the worst. Right, that's why I had an alarm blaring early in the morning on a weekend. I know I promised to go out with him, but I'm so groggy right now that the idea of getting up feels like a chore. Aniki, you aren't up yet? Aki opens my door, peering his little head inside for a few seconds. As soon as he realizes that I'm looking right at him, he walks inside and closes the door behind him. Jeez, you're still in bed? How long have you been planning on sleeping for? Just 5 more minutes, Aki. I cover myself with my blanket, completely obfuscating? Obfuscating? Obfuscating. Render obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Obfuscating. God. Aki sighs audibly. He mutters something that I can barely hear. What a useless old brother you can be sometimes. Hey, Aki, what the hell did you just say? I immediately stand up on my feet, yep, on top of my bed, looking at my little brother who just stares up at me with a blank expression. Oh, you're up now. Since you're up already, why don't you head downstairs now? Shoichi has been waiting for you for over an hour already. Without missing a beat, Aki says whatever he wants and leaves. Wait a second. That little bastard played me. I should have known. He knew I'd get angry and just would get up if he said that. Seriously, getting played by my little brother like that, it's a bit... Wait, what was that last part? Hey, Aki, what'd you just say? He spins around in place and looks at me. Huh? I thought I made myself pretty clear. I mean the part about Shoichi being here. Oh, he came over at 8:30. He's been waiting for you for over an hour. What? You probably shouldn't keep him waiting much longer. I'm left scrambling to get dressed as fast as I can. Shit, why is Shoichi even here already? We said we'd meet up at 10. As I ran into the living room, still hastily shoving myself inside a random shirt to see Shoichi sitting on the couch, chatting with my little brother. Oh, you're up. About time. He flashes me a cheeky grin as he gets up from his seat and come greet me, extending his hand for a handshake. What are you even doing here? Really? That's the first thing you said to me? Not nice to see you, Shoichi, or how have you been, Shoichi? Alright, fine. I grabbed his hand and gave him a firm handshake. Nice to see you, Shoichi, how have you been? Also, what the hell are you doing here? You wound me, Cleveland. But to answer your question, I came over because I thought we could chat while you got ready. That's why, that way we could also head out together instead of meeting at the station. So you showed up an hour and a half before we were supposed to meet? Shoichi shifts around, crossing his arms and looking as if I had offended him. Of course not. I'm not stupid. We agreed to meet at 9. I was half an hour early. What? No, you weren't. We agreed to meet at 10. I even set up my alarm for 9:30. You seriously think we were meeting at 10? I nod. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out his phone. Here. Hey, look at our little picture. Look at our little picture up there. We're cute. We're all set tomorrow, yeah. What time we meet again? Really, forgot again. Now I'm just making sure 9 a.m. Got it. Don't you dare be late. I won't. Jesus. Relax, mom. ... See what it says? 9 a.m. 9. And I warned you not to be late. What? You have anything to say in your defense? Tee-hee, I made a mistake. I stick my tongue out trying to act cute and innocent. Oh, Jesus. Ow! She was giving me a karate chop to the head, making me see stars. Don't try to pull this off the moe act. You're neither a girl nor are you cute. You didn't have to hit me so freaking hard. Hard? Pff, don't make me laugh. If I had actually hit you hard, I would have probably cracked your skull. What the hell are you, the Incredible Hulk? I just have a little bit of upper body strength. A little bit is an understatement. By the way, why didn't you just wake me up if you knew I was late? Well, what? You looked really peaceful in your sleep, so I didn't want to disturb you. And what's the real reason? Well, I'm being serious. I thought you could use the sleep, that's all. For some reason, Shoichi is suddenly acting very flustered. Shoichi needs telling the truth, Aniki. I told him to wake you up a bunch of times and he refused. Really? Doesn't sound like the Shoichi I know. Well, there it is. Corroboration for the best possible witness. Aki grins, looking maliciously at Shoichi. Yes, in fact, I'm pretty sure he muttered he looks so cute when he's asleep when he thought I wasn't listening. What? I didn't. Not to mention you telling me, no, let him sleep, it'd be too cruel to wake him up. What? Aki-kun, shut up! I didn't say that. Aki starts laughing uncontrollably. To be honesty, seeing Shoichi flustered like this is very amusing for some reason. I can't resist laughing like a complete idiot. You both suck. No wonder you're brothers. Hey, if you didn't want me to parrot it back to my brother, then you shouldn't have said it in earshot of me. What? No one likes a snitch, Aki-kun. As far as I know, no one likes the creepy guy who watches other people sleeping either. Talk about sass. That's it. Come here, you brat. Oh, they're running. Shoichi starts chasing Aki around the house in what can only be described as a surreal scene. When did we turn into early 16s American cartoon? Hey, Shoichi, we're already late. Shouldn't we get going? Oh, right. As if he's suddenly snapped back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Every time. Why is that phrase so common? Shoichi lets go of Aki, whom he had captured. Aki then proceeds to run behind me to hide. What are you, 8? Hey, I might be young, but at least I can wake up on time for my appointments. You prat. Alright, before I'm forced to bear witness to a murder, shouldn't you eat something before we leave? I thought that since we were pressed for time, I should buy something on the way. Pressed for time? We're not pressed for time. It's a festival. It starts at night. Well, I didn't know that. If it only starts at night, why the hell do you want me to wake up at 8:30? I thought we could spend the day together, kind of like when we were kids. I simply stare there, giving Shoichi a blank look. What? You woke me up early. For no reason. Shoichi reaches toward me and flicks me in the forehead. Ow! You'll have a ton of opportunities to sleep in, lazy boy, but we always have the opportunity to spend time together. Did you already forget how ridiculously little free time I have? I groan, crossing my arms and looking away in frustration. Alright, I guess you're right. Where are we going, anyway? Ramen! I'm gonna need a little more to go on here. Do you remember that ramen restaurant close to the old club? It hosts a special food challenge on Saturdays. Ah, you mean Sakura Ramen and the super spicy special Sakura Ramen challenge? Funny how you just know these things. Aki suddenly chimes in on the conversation. I swear to God, I nearly forgot he was here. That's right, that's the one. Aki smiles, suddenly looking very amused. Common sense tells me that I should probably try to convince you not to go there, but if it's you, then I'm pretty sure it'll be no sweat. Have you tried the challenge before, Aki-kun? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a pleasant experience. I could barely eat more than a few bites of it, and my eyeballs felt like they were on fire. My tongue went numb, I could barely breathe, my throat burned more than Aniki's fur when he first tried cooking an American barbecue last year. Hey! Aki arched his eyebrows, looking defiantly at me. It's true, we couldn't even sell the grill because you got so pissed off when it singed your fur that you broke it into 1,000,000 pieces. Oh, so that's how it happened. You never heard anything about it. My lips are seals. Sure, until you find the time when it could cause the most damage. Well, anyway, that sounds a lot better than I thought. I can't wait to try it out. Do you want to come with us, Aki-kun? Aki scratches the back of his neck, smiling awkwardly. Sorry, I've already made plans. Oh, is that some blushing I see? Well... Don't tell me that a little someone is going on a date. Well, don't be ridiculous, Sho. Kinda, yeah. What? Aki looks down at the floor, his face tinted red. Well... You're going on a date? With whom? When? How did that happen? Where are you going? Why didn't you... Right, all right. Settle down, Mary Poppins. You don't need to scrutinize every little thing he does. You're not his nanny. But he's my baby brother. He has no idea what he's doing. Of course I need to scrutinize everything he's doing. Hey, I'm already old enough to go on dates. You're 12 and a half. And a half. Fuck. Also known as 12. Shoichi gets behind me and starts pushing me towards the front door as I kick and flail around trying to fight him. Okay, let's give Aki-kun a little room to breathe, shall we? Let's get this annoying bro-con older brother out of your fur, Aki-kun. But he can't. Who the hell are you calling a bro-con? From the corner of my eyes, I see Aki grinning as he begins waving at us. Have a nice day. Aki, we'll talk about this when I get back. When I'm promptly shoved right out the door. Even though it's still pretty early, there's still a little bit of a crowd walking around the train station. Jeez, how long do you plan on sulking? It's been an hour already. I can't believe you didn't let me talk Aki out of it. Talk him out of it. He's almost a teen. How is he going to start dating? He's going to start dating sooner or later. Why not take this chance to show him you can trust him to do the smart thing? Plus, you know Aki-kun. When was the last time... When was the last thing he did something dumb? That kid is way too mature for his age already. Kind of the opposite of some older brother I know. I snort. You disagree with me and insult me in the same breath. Kind of cruel if you ask me. What can I say? I'm good at multitasking. If the tables were turned and this was your sister instead, the thought of her allowing her to go on a date would be inconceivable to you. Hitoka isn't stupid. I know she wouldn't go out on a date with a schmuck. Plus, I'm the last person who should be interfering in her life, really. I roll my eyes, making him giggle. Fine, whatever. I'll still ask Aki for details on what happened when I get home. Sure, just make sure he doesn't have a girl with him in his room when you barge in. What would she be doing in his room? Oh, you know. Puzzle. My brother is 12. Please don't talk about him doing puzzles. Shoichi's laugh bellows so loudly that the people down the street turn to look at us. That's so loud, sheesh. Sorry, you're just too much of a doting father, even though you're only his brother. It just makes me laugh. What's wrong with me worrying about him? I don't care how old he is. He's still my baby brother to me. Shoichi pats me in the back. There's nothing wrong with it. On the contrary, I really like this caring side of yours. Just dial it down a little. If you try controlling him too much, he's going to end up turning on you. Point taken. Oh my god, this picture has real fucking people in it. Look. Oh god. This is jarring. I don't fucking want to see real ass people in this game. This is fucked. We reach the entrance to a traditional ramen restaurant and see a giant line formed in front of it. Alright, exclusive food challenge only on Saturdays. Of course there'd be a line. Wait here, I'm gonna put our names on the waiting list. Shoichi disappears amongst the sea of people as he goes up to the clerk standing in front of the line. Standing at the end of the line, I should say. Sheesh, talk about a lousy job. Having to stand outside all day taking account of the people outside. My feet hurt just thinking about it. I decided to check my phone and kill the time until Shoichi comes back. Let's see, no new messages, no new emails. Alright, there's a message in my junk folder. What does it say? Jeez, that list's long. They said it would be at least 40-minute wait in Cleveland. What's wrong? I only noticed Shoichi next to me when he puts his hand on my wrist and lowers my phone. Shoichi? Sorry, I didn't know she coming back. I just saw an email I got last night. Oh, this should be good. What's it about? I look over the email again, rereading it for a third time. It's an endorsement offer. Let me guess. You're chucking this one in the trash bin like the others? I don't know. Shoichi's eyes immediately go wide. He walks up to me, putting a hand on my forehead. I push him away. What are you doing? Making sure you're not sick? Why would you think I'm sick? Shoichi puts both of his hands on his wrist and cocks his head sideways, looking at me with disbelief. You've always been adamant about refusing any and all endorsement offers until you go pro. Yada, yada, yada. Don't want them to think they own me. Yada, yada, yada. First of all, I don't sound like that. Second of all, it's mostly true. What about this time? Why are you suddenly hesitant? Because... I tap on my phone screen and zoom on the logo of the email harder, letting Shoichi look at the screen. Regent. Regent? They're the biggest tennis sportswear company in the world. I know. Why do you think I hesitated? You don't turn down an offer from Regent. Look at my phone screen again, uncertain of what to do. I turn on my phone screen and shove it back in my pocket. You're not going to respond to them? Not now. I'm not sure what I'd even say. Say yes. That would fly in the face of my own policy, which is a stupid policy anyway. I choose to ignore that comment. And it would make me look like a hypocrite to the companies I turned down when I said I didn't want to be tied down to a sponsor until I went pro. And that one makes a bit more sense. You don't say. I give him the best snarky comment I can muster. I think I'm all snarked out. That was pretty mild compared to my usual standard. Well... Shoichi bites his lower lip. I don't think I'm the best person to be offering you this advice, considering the fact that I just turned down a few endorsement offers as well. 5, to be exact. Of course you'd be keeping count. Well, anyway, I still think you should take it. Oh, really? Why is that? Well... Shoichi looks around and notices that there are a few vacant seats in the waiting lounge around outside the restaurant. He grabs my hand and leads me by the arm to them, getting us both to sit down. You should think about how this would affect the beginning of your career. You're planning to go pro at the end of the year. By the way, I won't start that discussion about you going to college before you going pro because I don't want to start an argument again, so don't worry about that. I shrug. Shoichi slowly nods upon seeing my response and starts talking again, measuring his words. But you don't think that you should, start accruing funds? Knowing you, I imagine that you'd want to take part in the biggest tournament possible right after going pro. That would require traveling abroad. A company might hesitate to cover the cost of that for a player they just signed with. On the other hand, if they've been sponsoring you for a whole year already and you've produced good results during that time, that might be incentive to do that. I'm taken slightly aback by his words. I hadn't really thought of that I haven't thought that far on the whole thing. But then again, I guess it's pretty much like him to have given things this much thought. Let me guess, this is something you've been wanting to tell me for a while already, but couldn't find a good way to bring up the subject. Can you blame me? It's kind of hard to figure out what will make you blow up, and you've always been a bit touchy on the subject of your career. I nod, trying to think over his words. I'm suddenly hyper-aware of the weight of my phone in my pocket. Just knowing that I have a message from Regent there. I'll think about this after I get home. If I spend our time together worrying about this, then you won't have any fun. Oh, since when do you worry about that? I know how much you've been looking forward to this. What are you talking about? How would you even be able to tell? I grin. Your tail's been wagging non-stop since we got out of the house. It still is, in fact. Shoichi's eyes widen as he looks back, noticing his tail wagging frantically behind the seat. His body suddenly goes stiff as his tail freezes. His face suddenly looks flushed. You saw nothing. I chuckle, giving him a friendly punch on the shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks. After I finished all that paperwork, I found out that our treasurer had gotten things mixed up and our actual budget was only half the amount he specified at first. Sounds like you guys have a ton of problems with over-budgeting, huh? After about 30 minutes, we were still waiting for our names to be called. Although I'm fairly certain we should be the next ones. I don't understand how many people can mess up so often. This is what you get for being, too competent. People start slacking off because they know you'll cover for them. I shouldn't be forced to slow down my pace just because they don't want to work. I grin. I never said you did. Shoichi looks at me in confusion, opening his mouth to answer me. Shoichi Arata! The clerk calls for Shoichi's name as we reflexively stand up. That's us. We walk towards the clerk, a red panda, and he crosses Shoichi's name off the list. 2 people, correct? Shoichi nods. Right this way, please. The clerk leads us inside to a couple of empty seats in front of the kitchen. All of our tables are preoccupied at the moment, so I hope this will suffice. It's plenty, thank you, sir. Red Panda smiles, handing us a pair of menus. Take your time to decide what you'll have. You may call one of the waiters when you're ready to order. Shoichi shoots me a glance from the corner of his eye and smiles at the clerk again. That might take a while, I hope you don't mind. The clerk follows his gaze and flashes a knowing grin, nodding. Of course, sir. He leaves to go back to the entrance, leaving us two sitting inside the busy restaurant. I already know what I'll order, so you go ahead and decide. I'll be on my phone to pass the time. I'll check to see if you're ready to order in about 30 minutes or so. Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a little too time for you? Too little time for you? I don't take that long to decide. Oh, don't beat yourself up over it. You're still my friend. A little annoying quirk like that isn't going to change my mind. You suck. Well, prove me wrong then. Tell me, what are you gonna order? Well, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Shoichi imitates a ticking clock. Cut it out! Sorry, teasing you was just too funny. I'm not exactly having fun over here. Sorry, I'll stop. I just missed going out with you. Just the two of us. I mean, we don't spend as much time together as I'd like. At this point, I'd think that if it were up to you, we'd be together 24/7. Something like that, yeah. His voice is warm and wistful, leaving me suddenly a little embarrassed. Have I been neglecting him a little lately? Well, anyway, I already know what I'll be having. I'm surprised you're not ordering soba. I would, but they don't do a spicy soba dish like the spicy ramen challenge. I still think you're insane. Why? What's the worst that could happen? Well, I didn't ask you to make me a list. We both laugh at our own silliness. Few heads turn to look our way since we're easily the most boisterous patrons of the house at the moment, but this is one of the few times I just don't care. I'll agree, it's nice to go out and just the two of us again. It's really been so long. Well, what if I joined you in the challenge? You doing a spicy food challenge? Really? Well, I don't hate spicy foods. Sure, you don't hate them. You don't like them either. Do I need to remind you of what happened the last time you tried doing something spicy? My ears immediately fold down on my face and I feel my cheeks go red. Can we not talk about that? Let's see, it was October 1st, 2009. I asked you not to talk about it. You and I had gone to the small burger joint in the shopping mall. You're still talking about it. There's this challenge to eat a super spicy grilled steak burger. I put my arms on top of the counter and bury my face in them, hiding it. You decided that, hey, this is child's play for me, I'll try it, and you did. Even after you took the first bite and realized it was much spicier than you imagined, you still ate the whole thing, and for that, I congratulated you. And then when we got back to your house, I had to sit in the living room playing games on my own while you spent the next 3 hours locked up in the bathroom. How many rolls of toilet paper did you use up? 2? I groan. I can hear Shoichi laughing next to me. Man, you suck. My voice comes out muffled due to my arms covering my face. You really like using that expression, don't you? Has it turned into your catchphrase already? I straighten myself up on my seat, glaring daggers at the damn husky sitting next to me. Aw, you look so cute. You're angry and glaring at me, but your face is still red. It's so adorable. Shut up. Let's just order already. Shoichi grins, putting a hand on top of my head and tussling my fur. So, shall I order us 2 of the super spicy special Sakura ramen then? No. God, I really want to knock that stupid cocky smile off his face. Ah, so you've changed your mind. What'll it be then, Mr. Two Rolls? Call me Mr. Two Rolls again, and I'll make you eat through a straw for the rest of the month. Shoichi puts both hands in the air. Ooh, so scary. You really don't take me seriously at all, do you? Nope, not one bit. Just order me a regular pork miso ramen and shut up. Shoichi nods, doing a mock bow in a seat. Very well, your highness. I groan again and signal my displeasure. Shoichi calls over one of the waiters and gives him our order. The man writes it down in a flash, and before I know it, he's already gone. At least the service here is efficient. If Saya were here, she'd take that as an accusation that her service isn't up to par. You're right. The thought of that alone is already exhausting. I imagine myself explaining over and over again to a belligerent Saya that I didn't mean anything by it and that she was a good waitress. Just thought of having her angry at me is enough to make me feel like I've had a few years knocked off my lifespan. I can already guess what you're thinking of just by the look in your face. Ha ha ha. Shoichi laughs cheerily, putting his hand on my shoulder and giving it a light squeeze. I chuckle nervously. Yeah, let's hope I can go for the rest of the year without awakening the beast. Knowing you, I'd be surprised if you managed to make it a whole week without pissing her off. Don't jinx me. Shoichi laughs again, giving me a few more taps on the back. Your order's up. Ooh. 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 A goat calls our attention from behind the counter and hands us our bowls of piping hot ramen. Just seeing the food in front of my eyes is already enough to make me drool. The broth is so clear that it's almost see-through, and the smell is still amazing. I can't wait to dig in. I then look to the side and see Shoichi's bowl, and your bowl's bright red. Is that all pepper sauce? Who knows? Let's give it a try. Shoichi grasps the chopstick in his hands and puts them both together in front of his face and closing his eyes. Are you really saying itadakimasu, or are you praying that it won't kill you? He elbows me in the arm, grinning. Oh, shut up. He separates his chopsticks and immediately sets them down to get a generous amount of noodles, blowing on them a few times before hungrily wolfing them down. I keep watching intently to see his reaction, what his reaction will be when the spices kick in. He freezes with the noodles still in his mouth, swallowing them hastily and beginning to hack and cough. Whoa, you alright? I reach out to him thinking he's been overwhelmed by the spices. Gotcha. I'm left frozen in my seat, gaping for a few seconds. You ass, I thought your mouth was burning. I was worried about you. Don't worry about it, it's not that bad. Well, to be fair, it does burn quite a bit, but I like it. I scowl, crossing both my arms and glaring at him in displeasure. Jeez, what was that look on your face? It was just an innocent prank. There's nothing wrong with the look on my face. This is the face I was born with. Shoichi smiles, poking my cheeks with his moist chopstick. No, it's not. Your face is usually much more handsome than that. I would know since I look at it every day and all that. I blush at the sudden compliment, looking away. Jeez, you really know how to diffuse me, don't you? 12 years, buddy. I've known you for 12 years. What else did you expect? He then dives his chopsticks back into the bowl and gets back to eating his ramen. We walk out of the restaurant about 40 minutes later, having eaten until we couldn't eat anything else. I can't feel my tongue. Shoichi keeps poking his tongue out of his mouth, touching it with the tip of his fingers. I told you that thing would be too spicy for you. Too spicy, eh? The whole thing like a champ. I just can't feel my tongue, no biggie. How can you be so nonchalant about not feeling something as important as your tongue? You're a freak. He elbows me playfully. Don't talk like that. I know you love me. I groan, giving him a punch in the shoulder. It only serves to make him laugh. What do we do now? It's only barely past noon. Well, Shoichi scratches his chin, looking pensive. You didn't plan ahead. Sorry. I didn't want our first real outing in so long to feel mechanic, so I kind of wanted to just go wherever we felt like going. Well, how about I choose then? No. I invited you to go out. I want to be the one deciding where we go. I'll let you decide next time, deal? I cross my arms, staring at him with an amused smile. Fine, I'll be game this time, but I expect you to provide with the best damn outing I've had in the past few weeks. Challenge accepted. I just thought of the perfect place to go just now. Ooh, an arcade then. After about 10 minutes walking, Shoichi leads me into a staircase hidden between the two shops. Climbing it to the second floor, we reach a big and spacious an arcade. Really? This was your big idea? Oh, come on, there's nothing wrong with an arcade. It's a perfect place to pass time. Also, one of the most cliched places to take someone. Good thing this isn't a date, otherwise you'd probably make the girl quite a bit annoyed. I'll keep that in mind. Do you want to leave then? I look around the place, checking all the different games and machines they have in here. I have to say, this is a better selection than the arcade I used to visit. But then again, I haven't been into an arcade in 3 years, so what do I know? The corners of my lips curve up into a half smile. I think this could be fun after all. Did you see a game that interests you? You could say that. I walk up to a vacant dance corner machine and lean my back against the bar, staring at Shoichi with the best mischievous expression I can muster. His face immediately goes pale. No, absolutely not. You know I have 2 left feet when it comes to dancing. Hey, you chose where we'd go, so I get to decide what we do. Only fair. Shoichi swallows hard. Oh. Looking up at the machine with dread. Do I really have to? Well, Shoichi swallows again upon hearing the tone of my voice. You don't have to. It's okay if you're too scared I might beat you at the game. Do you really think that this 5th grader attempt at provocation would rile me up and make me decide to play? I merely smile. Just hop on the damn machine and start the game. Oh, I thought you didn't. Shut up! I really did get under his skin. He can be so easy sometimes, it's wonderful. Just as the machine starts up, I already select a random track and set it to 2-player mode. Shoichi steps up onto the left dance pad and I take the right one. Alright, may the best man win. I intend to. The song starts out slow and neither one of us has trouble following. The difficulty keeps climbing as the rhythm of the song increases. I keep an eye on Shoichi from the corner of my eyes, seeing as he starts to struggle. One by one, he starts to miss the keys. Meanwhile, on my screen, even though I don't really play these kinds of games often, I'm starting to have more and more fun as time goes by. My score is rocketing past Shoichi's, who's missing almost half of the keys by now, struggling to keep up with the fast pace of the song. As the number of mistakes he makes increases further and further, Shoichi's lifeline starts to become depleted until you lose! He finally reaches 0 and fails the song. I quickly finish the last minute or so of it and step out of the machine, walking towards Shoichi, who's crouching behind the machine, his face buried in his knees. Oh, come on, are you that upset about losing? I couldn't even finish the song. You don't play these games often. Don't beat yourself up over it. You don't play these games either, and you still beat my ass. In fact, I'm pretty sure you got a near-perfect score. Well... should I point out to him that it technically was a perfect score, since I didn't miss any of the keys? I better not, I don't want to feed the fire. Why don't we play a few more times so you can get used to it? Not interested. How about we play another game? Not interested. Are you just gonna sit there sulking all day? Perhaps. Talk about a sore loser. Didn't you promise you'd show me a good time since this is the first time we go out together and all that? I'm starting to think you were just talking out your ass. Still, after a few seconds, he sighs, getting up from the floor and dusting himself off. Alright, how about we play some fighting games? At least I'm good at those. Okay, let's go do that. He really is. He's really so easy sometimes. It's almost dark by the time we leave the arcade. We spent pretty much the whole time playing fighting games, only trying something else to take a break and stop hogging the fighting machines. At the end of the day, I'm touting a record of 34 wins of mine versus 28 of his. Don't let it get to your head just because you won a few more times than usual. Shoichi was still pouting over the loss streak he had a little while before we left. In fact, the whole reason we left was because he was tired of losing. We planned on staying in the arcade for at least 30 more minutes. I think you're the one who should stop letting the losses get to your head. Am I going to have to spend the whole day dealing with your pouting? I'm not even allowed to be upset for a few minutes. His reaction would be sad if it weren't so darn funny. You win some, you lose some, just deal with it and move on. Why do I get the feeling that you're patronizing me? I'm not. I'm trying to cheer you up so I won't have to deal with an anal nutbag for the rest of the evening. Shoichi starts laughing. Oh, nice. I try to cheer you up and then that doesn't phase, but I call you an anal nutbag and for some reason that gets you to laugh. sorry, sorry. Haha, okay, I'm all good now. Makes me feel a bit better right now. Thanks for that. I shrug. Hey, if me insulting you what makes you feel better, I got a ton of other insults where that came from. Not now, sorry for getting so annoyed by that. I promised you a good time. I shouldn't keep getting salty over a few losses. 34, I cover my mouth as I do an obvious fake cough. Don't start. Anyway, it's getting a bit late right now, so we should probably head to the festival location. Where exactly is this festival you said is happening in town today? I don't remember there being any commemoration to be had today. You'll find out when we get there. Typical. Anyway, what store should we stop to pick up your yukata? My what now? Your yukata! I remember from the fucking Chester route. I always said that with such flair. You can't go to a festival without a yukata! Since when? What? You didn't buy a yukata! It's a traditional festival wear. I thought you'd be getting one. Why would I? Because? Yeah, typical festival wear. Got it. But you didn't tell me I should wear one, though. I have to tell you to buy a yukata for a festival? If you want someone to do something, you should tell them to do it instead of expecting them to simply figure it out. But, I wanted to see you wearing a yukata! The words came out as a single pitiful whine. Oh, come on, what are you, a child? But I was really looking forward to... Yeah, you already told me already, no need to repeat yourself. Anyway, what about you, Mr. Must Have a Yukata? Where should we be going to get yours? Well, I crossed my arms, cross-examining him with my eyes. You don't have one, do you? The thing is, you don't have a damn yukata, but you're wanting to try to make me feel bad for not having one because you so wanted to see me wearing one. Well, yes. It's kind of amusing to see him like this. I went to a couple store to buy one, okay? And none of them had any in my size. Turns out I'm much taller than the average Japanese male, so the only way I could get one was to custom order it. It wouldn't get done in time. I left my hands in the air, shaking my head sideways. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Shoichi. I don't have a yukata, and considering you don't have one either, I don't think that you have any right to complain about it. Fine, I won't complain anymore. Jesus, why is he so downcast over a piece of clothing? How about we each buy a yukata, and if we're both free by the time of the Harvest Festival, we'll go together. Just the two of us, wearing our yukatas. Really? You serious? You'll go to the Harvest Festival with me. Hang on, I said if. If we're both free. Yeah, I got that. Still, it means a lot to me. Alright, I'll go to a clothing shop on Monday and I'll order a yukata for myself. Why are you getting so excited over something that might not even happen? Are you stupid or something? Still, it makes me feel all warm and happy inside when I see him like this. Where's my fucking mouse? There it is. Yeah, I really like seeing him when he's happy like this. And knowing I'm the one that made him happy, made him this happy is just... Oh, what's with that look on your face? Shoichi notices something about the face I'm making and turns to me with a sudden interest. What? Are you going to complain about What, are you going to complain that I'm making an ugly face again? Nah, I was just thinking that you had a very beautiful smile just now. It looks good on you. What are you saying? If someone heard you say that, they might misunderstand. You shouldn't be saying this to your guy friend. Shit, why is my face getting so hot? What are you talking about? What's wrong with complimenting my best friend? I meant every word I said. Is this guy for real? Anyway... I turn around trying to hide my face from him. Just take me to this festival you said you wanted to show me. Like you said, it's already getting late. Oh, you're right. There's Shoichi's voice echoing from behind me. Come with me towards the East Street. I see him walking through the street and immediately start following behind, grateful for an excuse to keep my face hidden from him. Why was my heart beating so fast? It's a good thing there aren't so many people around at this time of day. If we'd gotten out of the arcade at the time we first agreed on, the street would have been packed with people. I merely agree with him, not really paying attention to the words he's saying. I follow behind him for quite a while, weaving our way through the streets as they become less and less crowded.